G'day, Pete here. What I have is a Toyota Hilux 3RZ-FE petrol from 1999, and I had a high idle problem. So after looking for vacuum leaks, etc., I obviously decided to take the throttle body off and have a look at the idle air controller. So in the manual it says you should check the the resistance of this little motor here, and you do that basically by these three pins. It's in the manual. The middle pin is called the O pin, I think, and you got an RSO and RS1. Basically, if you put voltage on the top pin, it fully closes the IAC valve at the bottom here, and if you put 12 volts to the, sorry, it's this way around, 12 volts to the top pin, it will close it, or 12 volts to the bottom pin, it should open it. And that's the test you do. So I'll just show you here, hopefully. This actually checks that the valve is actuating correctly. So if we put positive, this is the positive terminal, and if I put that 12 volts on the middle pin, I don't know if you can see there. So that's on the middle pin there. If this one's to the negative, so I'll be running 12 volts through this motor, and if I put it to the top here, what you notice with the actual valve is it closes fully. So there it is, closed, slightly open, that's the idle. Closed, open. If I put it to the bottom pin here, so reference for screws at the top, I put it to the bottom pin here, RS positive, you'll notice that the valve fully opens. Okay. So that's what it does now, but previous to that, what actually happened was it was getting stuck in a halfway position, and this is like a vane, that valve, and you can actually, the leading edge is obviously it's steel, but it's quite fine, so you've got to be a bit careful. But basically what I did was I could manually push this. Alright, I have to find the right screwdriver here. I could manually push this down, but it would just stay in that position. I don't know if you can see that. So now it's free, it's just returning to where it should. So rather than throw it out, because, you know, it sort of says if it doesn't pass that electrical test, then and the resistances check out on the pins here, and they should be between 17 and 24 ohms, center to the outside two, each individually. But basically, if that checks out, then that's saying that this electrical solenoid motor in here should be functioning. So therefore it had to be a mechanical problem with the actual valve. And so I sprayed throttle body cleaner in there. I'm not sure it was the best one, it was probably the cheapest one, but what actually happened was it hadn't removed all the coating and varnish on that vane. So that's why that vane wasn't very free. So I thought, bugger this, I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to have a look. So there's a little inspection cover here. Okay, and I figured there must be a spring involved in here. So I was a bit careful when I did this. But basically what I've done is I've just taken off these two screws, and I've noted the position. So I made a match mark on the position there, and if you can see the black mark. And they're obviously